Have you ever looked at a slick recruitment ad and thought, I wonder what it's really like to work there? Well, there's often this huge gap between the promise a company makes to the world and what its employees actually experience day to day. So in this explainer, we're going to dig into what causes that gap and, more importantly, how to close it for good.
And really, this one question, it gets right to the heart of it all, doesn't it? The answer tells you so much about a company's health, its credibility, and, its real ability to attract and hang on to great people. Here's a perfect example of that disconnect in action. On one hand, you've got an employee who's genuinely all in on the company's mission. That's the promise. But at the same time, that same person could feel totally stuck with absolutely no idea how to grow their career there. It's this exact clash that an employer audit is designed to find and, well, to fix.
Okay, so to really get a handle on this, we've got to start with the outside view, the image a company carefully projects to the world. And that's what we call its employer brand. To put it simply, your employer brand is your reputation as a place to work. It's the whole package, everything that convinces someone to not just apply, but to accept an offer and choose your company over all the others. It's your big pitch to the talent market. Now, what's so interesting here is that your brand isn't just some marketing slogan. No way. It's shaped by real, tangible things. I mean, how do you recruit people? What's that first week on the job actually feel like? Can people genuinely grow their careers with you? An audit looks at all these moments to see if you're actually living up to your own hype. All right, so we've looked at the external promise. Now, let's flip the coin and get real about the internal truth. And this is all about employee engagement. And look, engagement is so much more than just people being happy at work. It's about a deep, real commitment. Are your employees motivated? Do they trust the leadership? Are they willing to go that extra mile because they truly believe in what the company's doing? That's engagement. This quote from the source material just hits the nail on the head. See, true engagement is what separates a pretty good company from a truly great one. It's that extra effort people willingly give when they feel connected and valued. So how in the world do you measure something this deep? Well, it's not just one thing. A proper audit uses a whole mix of methods, everything from broad surveys to get the big picture, to deep one-on-one interviews, and even looking at hard performance data to piece together a complete and honest view of what's really going on inside. Okay, this brings us to the most critical part of this whole thing, actually connecting that outside promise with the inside reality. This is where the magic really happens. So on one side, you've got this carefully crafted employer brand that you're showing to the world. And that external promise absolutely has to match the internal, day-to-day reality for your people. If it doesn't, you lose credibility, you lose trust, and eventually you lose your best talent. It's that simple. Think of it this way. The real power of an audit is that it holds these two things up, right next to each other. Over here, you have what you say you are, and over here, you have what your employees know you actually do. Bringing those two things together, that's how you build an authentic, powerful brand that people can truly believe in. But, just finding the gaps isn't really enough. The real goal here is to build a system that keeps your brand and your employee experience in sync for the long haul. And that's done through a pretty straightforward two-step framework. First, you create accountability. And second, you get ahead of potential problems before they blow up. Let's break that down real quick. Governance, it's just a fancy word for making sure someone is actually responsible. It's about setting clear roles, like who owns the employer brand, who's on the hook for engagement, and then you have to track real metrics, like retention rates, to see if the changes you're making are actually working. This audit also works as a really powerful risk assessment. It helps you spot the weak points before they become full-blown crises. Things like high turnover or mixed messaging, those aren't just HR problems. They are serious business risks that can really hurt your reputation and your bottom line. So what does this all add up to? When you do all of this work, what's the ultimate goal? Well, it's about creating something that's honestly pretty rare and incredibly valuable, a truly authentic workplace. The end game here is to build one single, coherent identity, an organization where what you see on the outside is exactly what you get on the inside. No gaps, no contradictions, just one real, authentic brand. And this quote just wraps it all up so perfectly. This whole process isn't just about fixing a few problems. It's about transforming perception into reality. It's about building a place where people don't just want to work, but where they can genuinely thrive. So I'll leave you with this one question to think about. When you look at your own organization, is its public identity its true lived reality? Because the answer to that question could be the key to unlocking its entire future.